With 73 albums on the Billboard charts and more than 50 gold and platinum albums to his name, Johnny Mathis remains one of the most iconic figures in the music industry. Since 1956, he's been melting hearts around the world with his smooth voice, romantic lyrics, and captivating melodies. Yet his life was anything but easy. Life is hard even for celebrities, and Johnny Mathis is not an exception. Today we present Johnny Mathis is now almost 90. How he lives is sad. The man, the myth, the legend. Johnny Mathis was born into a large Texas household on September 30th, 1935. Now, when I say large household, I mean large. He was the fourth child out of 7 siblings, with his parents, Clem Mathis and Mildred Boyd, both working as cooks. Johnny's stay in Texas wouldn't last for long, though, as his family relocated to San Francisco when he was just 5 years old. They settled nicely into the Richmond district, and it was here that Johnny's love for music began to blossom. Interestingly, his father was also a talented musician in his own right, which is why it didn't take long for him to spot the natural talent that his son possessed. Guess what? All he needed to get young Johnny going was a measly $25, which he used to purchase an old piano. Little did anyone know that the piano was going to set Johnny on a path of musical greatness, and of course, a lot of money. Now Johnny was stuck on his piano, and he became better with every note he played. Everyone around saw how good he was with his new toy, and it didn't take long before friends and family would ask Johnny to play tunes for their listening pleasure. From the 4 corners of his home to the church, Johnny played time and time again for those around him. But it was when he met a lady named Connie Cox that he would eventually discover his full potential. Cox was an experienced voice trainer, and she was the one who taught the young lad how to make the most out of his voice. Now, Johnny didn't have any money to pay for her services, but she didn't teach him for free either. In exchange for voice lessons, Johnny would clean her house and do some chores. But considering all his latter successes in the music business, we can all agree that doing house chores was a small price to pay. Things didn't happen overnight, though, as Johnny would remain under Cox's tutelage for as long as 6 years. It was time well spent, as Johnny's voice morphed into pure gold. But music wasn't the only passion for Johnny. He loved sports, too. His time at George Washington High School saw him excel at track and field, as he scaled over hurdles and high jumps with nothing but agility and grace. Fast forward to 1954, and Johnny was now a student of San Francisco State College. In fact, he was so good that he was put on an athletic scholarship, and at this point, he must have thought he had a chance to turn pro at some point. He would later move from the tracks to the courts, as he did very well in basketball. In fact, would you believe it if I told you that Johnny formed a strong friendship with future Boston Celtics legend Bill Russell when they were kids? Yep, Johnny could have easily been an NBA legend too, given his talents. But while Russell chased his dream on the court, Johnny's heart was still stuck on becoming a professional recording artist. All in all, you could say that the early life of Johnny Mathis was defined by hard work, fate, and undeniable talent. His career choices were vast, but it was music that would take the center stage. Now, I've spoken of how he perfected his piano playing skills and his vocals, but how exactly did he get his first big break in the music industry?